back to Nerdy Scores, a film podcast. I'm your host, Bryan Sudfield, and this is episode 5, and I am joined by my co-host, Matt Lovner.
And Nathan is back. Just kidding.
No, he's not. He's actually not back. He actually isn't back. This is episode 5. We are recording on Friday, August 14th, 2015. Yeah, let's get right into this episode. First big news is that new photos from Star Wars The Force Awakens released. Damn microphone. Just give it to me. I'll hold on to the microphone. Hold it.
This stupid stand.
New photos from Star Wars The Force Awakens are released. We'll go into depth with all these photos. Okay, so I'm on Entertainment Weekly right now as we speak. Side by side. First photo right here is Finn and Rey running from a bunch of stormtroopers.
Which they better have bad aim.
Next photo is the cover photo of Entertainment Weekly. It's Kylo Ren. Yeah, that is a poster. That looks like a poster.
I would like to have that as the poster. Hell yes.
Next photo is Finn running in his stormtrooper outfit, looking at a wreckage from a TIE fighter, which we saw in the behind the scenes Star Wars footage from Comic-Con. Next is Rey untying BB-8. And it's pretty cool. I mean, this large creature is it's cool, I guess. It looks like a...
It's like a rhino mixed with a horse. It's fucking weird looking.
I guess.
But that's like mecha, though.
I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
Then we got finally our first look at C-3PO and the R2-D2's in the pic as well. He has a red arm. We don't know what happened, so...
Did he lose an arm?
No, he did not lose an arm. We don't know, dude. This takes place 30 years later, okay? So maybe
Jawas probably fucking took it.
No, Matt. That's probably not what happened. Then we got Kylo Ren in front of stormtroopers, excuse me. And I wrote this on Facebook. I said no words. That's what I wrote. I just wrote no words, period. Best photo in my opinion released. Then we got our first look at Domhnall Gleeson as General Hux. He is a crew leader of the First Order who craves to show the galaxy his might. It says the photo was briefly shown at Comic-Con, but never released in detail until now. So yeah, that's cool that we finally got our first look at him.
Yes. Well, I saw these photos ahead of Brian.
No, I saw him the same amount of time as you. Yes.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yes, I saw them. Then we got a newer look at Captain Phasma, who's played by Gwendolyn Christie.
Phasma.
She
said plasma.
You said plasma on the phone last night.
You said plasma
I said on the phone. I said you said that on the phone last night, you ass.
Okay.
And then we got J.J. Abrams sitting with Lawrence Kasdan. And then these are older photos, and that's it. Yeah, all these photos are great. I feel like we've already gotten what we need. And the last trailer is supposed to be released next month. D23 is going on as we speak. So J.J. Abrams said that there's no footage at D23, but there will be footage next month, supposedly, or October. So, yeah, that's great. Next news is that Bill Murray has a cameo confirmed for the Ghostbusters reboot. If he's playing Vera Frankman, big thumbs up, but if he's playing some random person, okay, I don't know what's going to happen with this, but, I mean, it would be cool to see Bill Murray back in the Ghostbusters universe.
I think, honestly, here's what I think is going to happen since Bill Murray's in the movie. I think... Let's just say the original Ghostbusters are going to play Falling on Hard Times. They're probably going to do it and that's why they get the new crew of Ghostbusters. So I think that's why he'd be a crucial role in the new formation of the new group.
Yeah, but it just says cameo.
As I said, he doesn't have to be in the movie for the full thing. He might just come in hey,
that's what a cameo is.
Hey, you looking for a job? I got a job for you. Something like that. I don't know.
No, that better not be the case.
Not exactly, but in a Bill Murray-like way.
So yeah, it's true because he was spotted in Boston on the set. Oh, he was going to the set. I mean, who knows if he was going to that set or if he was going to some other set in Boston, or maybe he was just in Boston for a vacation. Who the fuck knows? But it's cool that he's back. All they need to get back is Ernie Hudson, who's probably begging to come back. So yeah, so the next piece of news is that Winona Ryder has confirmed her return for Beetlejuice 2. Beetlejuice is my second favorite Michael Keaton film of all time, behind Birdman. I mean, if you listen to this line, will understand what I mean by how great it is. Nice fucking model! Still holds up to this day. I mean, it's cool that they're doing this sequel. I mean, it's great that Michael Keaton's come back. Tim Burton will come back to direct this, but we don't know if this is what he's going to be doing after he finishes his current project, or if he's going to do the Dumbo movie that he plans on directing for Disney. So we don't know what he's going to do, but this will probably be released supposedly before 2019. So I'm excited to see this because I think Beetlejuice is a great, great film.
Michael Keaton comes back to Beetlejuice, said all that. That's all it needs. That's it.
Did you see Beetlejuice?
Long time ago.
Oh, okay.
That's why I don't remember it that well.
But at least,
but I have seen it, yes.
Okay. It's showtime! Next news. Jack Reacher 2 will begin filming in November. The film will be released in late 2016. Edward Zwick is currently in talks to direct this film. He is the guy behind Glory, The Last Samurai, and Blood Diamond. And he has some film coming out this year called Pawn Sacrifice with Tobey Maguire. And then, it should begin filming in November. That's what all the sources say. I thought Jack Reacher was fine. Cruise was awesome in the movie, but it was a fine movie. And then supposedly after this, he's probably going to start filming Mission Impossible 6, which he says should start filming in summer of next year, but aiming for like a 2017 release. I mean, Cruise needs to kind of sit down, take a break, Cruise. We love you, man, but just take a break. Relax, relax, man. Okay. But I mean, Christopher McQuarrie directed the first Jack Reacher, and it was a fine directed film. It's just that the film wasn't as good as it could have been. But I still thought that it was a fine film for what it was. And if Edward Zwick is directing it, just says he's in talks. We don't know if he's actually going to direct it. If he does direct it, I would love to see him direct this movie because it's great that he and Cruise will get back together because Last Samurai is a great, great film. So I'm curious to know how this movie's going to turn out. And if it does come out next year, I'm curious to see its competition because Rogue One comes out next Christmas. So, yeah.
Well, let's see. I have seen Blood Diamond, and I have seen some of Glory. So, I mean, this guy knows how to, make action scenes. I'm right with that. And with Jack Reacher 2, I mean, I like the first one. I don't love it. I don't think it's a perfect movie. I think it's a fine, fun, movie to watch. And, yeah, sure, make another one. I mean, it's a popular book series. Why not? With the new director.
Next news is that Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio will reteam for Devil in the White City. I actually really didn't I actually don't want to look into this that much because I actually really don't want to know what this is about because I want to go into more movies not knowing much. I mean, this is the 6th time they're working together. I've seen every movie they've done together. My favorite would probably have to be The Departed. I mean, my least favorite was Gangs of New York. I feel like that film is very long. It's not exactly the most engaging film of Scorsese's filmography, but it's still a really good movie. I'm supposedly from what I'm hearing, DiCaprio is playing a villain. Now, if you guys saw Django Unchained, Django Unchained, you guys are aware that DiCaprio was a great villain. I mean, he's played a villain before, but Django was, in my opinion, the best movie he was in where he played a villain. So I think with this, I don't know if he's playing the villain or protagonist. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm always excited to see whatever Scorsese does. I'm so excited for his new film Silence, which is coming out next year. It's with Liam Neeson and Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver. So I'm very excited about that. DiCaprio's my favorite actor. I mean, there are a lot of people like to say are my favorite actors, but he is probably my legitimate favorite actor of all time. So I'm excited for this. I'm curious to know what this is, and I don't really want to know much about it.
Well, if he hasn't won an Oscar this year, he's got something to look forward to win one possibly in the future with this movie. Now, what I can infer, though, from the title, I could probably guess that he'll be like a Jordan Belfort-like bad guy, like a very scumbag, maybe businessman tycoon or something, but I don't know anything about this movie. So it's just a guess, but from the title's name. But
Yeah.
I mean, if he can pull something like, I wouldn't say he's going to be like a Calvin Candy. I mean, it's probably going to be a very down to ground reality.
Yeah, but
guy.
I
don't know
I
much
know.
about this, so he could just be an over the top as fuck guy.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's what I'm expecting. If just by the name alone, it's probably going to be a Jordan Belfort businessman like person. That's scummy as fuck.
Yeah. I would probably have to agree with you on that. The next news is that Patrick Stewart officially confirms Professor X role for Wolverine 3. This was an interview with Collider. I didn't really watch the interview. I just saw the headline, Patrick Stewart confirms role in Wolverine 3. So I'm like, all right, cool. Now, the cool thing is, now I'm really, really... This is going to be a sad movie to watch because this is Hugh Jackman's last time as Wolverine. So, I mean, the filming should begin early next year. And James Mangold's come back, and he did a very good job with the Wolverine. So, it's just going to be really interesting to watch Wolverine be old. And I think that, I mean, I kind of suspected that some other member of the X-Men was going to come back for this film. But the fact that Patrick Stewart has come back as Professor X, I think it's a good move for them, and I'm very excited for this movie, and it's really going to be something sad because Hugh Jackman is really the heart and soul of the X-Men franchise. So I'm curious to know what's going to be like once he leaves and departs forever. So, yeah.
Well, it is going to be sad because, honestly, there's nobody that could play like Wolverine like him. There's nobody like him with his charisma, but he's also a maniac sometimes when he loses his shit. But as well as just very nice and charming.
Yeah.
There is some, but I don't think anybody can match him. But I have the Wolverine up there somewhere in that huge collection. I really like that film, even though the ending was cheesy as fuck. The ending was cheesy. But the film, though, itself, I'm just curious, though, how they're going to do the story of this one after the Wolverine, like, the story does not exist. It's not canonical anymore, as we know of with Days of Future Past, if you remember. With the whole, Jean Grey's not alive, so he never went to Japan.
Well, spoiler.
Spoiler, but everyone probably has seen that film by now. If you haven't, what the fuck's wrong with you? Go see that film. And I'm sorry I spoiled it for you. But, yeah, but with Professor X, it's Professor X. Why the hell wouldn't you have, him as it? Like, Patrick Stewart is Professor X. The older Professor X, But,
obviously.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm kind of not surprised because he was, kind of a spoiler, but it's a post-credit scene or a mid-credit scene. He was in Wolverine for a short time. Let's just say that.
Yeah, but that took place before Days of Future Past.
Yes, it set up Days of Future Past, basically. But still, though, hey, that's good that he's in it.
Yeah.
Wondering what the story is, but it makes sense after Days of Future Past.
It's going to be an older Wolverine.
Yeah.
So that's...
Wonder how he's old, though.
We'll see when the movie comes out in 2017.
Because, he shouldn't be getting that old. It's interesting.
But we'll see what happens when the movie comes out. So the next news is that Deadwood movie is in the works. Deadwood is a very popular show that was on HBO for a few years. I never got around to watching the show. This is a show that's on my watch list.
Was that a Western, I think? Deadwood? I don't remember.
Yes, it was a Western, Matt. Good job. So it hasn't been confirmed that this is going to happen. It's just saying that it's in the works. Like I said, I never got around to watching the show. My father watched it. He loved the show, and I just got a text on my computer, so yippee-ki-yay once again. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with this. I will probably watch. If this movie is going to happen, I'm obviously going to watch the show before the movie comes out, because that's what I did with Entourage. And if they're going to make this in the movies, I think what they would have to do is do what they did with Entourage. Make it a movie for the fans and for newer people, and try to get newer people into it without having to watch the show, because you really didn't have to watch Entourage. I think it would have been better if you watched it, but you didn't have to watch it. I chose to watch it because then there would have been things in the movie that I would have been like, huh? What? What does that mean? Okay. So, yeah. But I think I don't know if this is going to be a theatrical movie or this is going to be on HBO. So I don't know what's going to happen with this, but if the entire cast is coming back, then that is pretty awesome.
Well, if we can take some notes from what HBO did last time with Entourage, they're probably just going back and they're just wrapping up or bringing back old, nostalgic TV shows from early 2000s, 90s, the late 90s. So.
This isn't in the 90s. This was in the 2000s.
That's what I said, early 2000s, late 90s.
Not really. They haven't done anything for the late 90s.
Well,
Entourage was in the 2000s.
But basically, yeah, I mean, if they're going through their full list of shows to make movies about now, hey, I mean...
Well, they're not really doing that.
It seems like it, though.
Yeah, just because they did this.
They did Entourage and they're doing Deadwood,
yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. They're not going to do something with Sopranos because Gandolfini is dead.
Because they didn't wrap itself up, because I've never seen the show, so I don't know.
Exactly. You don't watch many television. He still has to finish Breaking Bad. And Wet Hot American Summer, first day of camp.
But, yeah, I think, though, I mean, I guess it could be good. Fine, knock yourself out. It's a Western.
Next news is that Zach Galifianakis is in talks to voice the Joker in the Lego Batman movie. He will be joining Will Arnett reprising his role as Batman from the Lego movie, and Michael Cera, who will be playing the role of Robin. And now, like I said, it's just in talks. That doesn't mean that it's confirmed. But if this is true, I am very interested to see how Zach Galifianakis will pull off the role as the Joker. Because, I mean, you would have to put some kind of comedian in this, but I don't know how he would do. I think he would be good. But I just hope he doesn't sort of play the role of Alan in The Hangover, even though Alan and the Joker are two different people. So yeah, this is cool. If this is true, I am very curious about it. And Matt still has to see the Lego movie.
Well, if he's gonna voice the Joker, he's got face 3 other great Jokers.
Yeah, but this is an animated Joker. This is
Still, though.
Yeah, but this is a comedy. This isn't gonna be some serious movie like fucking The Dark Knight.
I should recall that Mark Hamill, before he did the Joker in the Arkham games, he did the animated series.
No shit, Sherlock.
That's what I said. So hey, it still counts. But yeah, I mean, just saying.
Obviously, he's not going to top the Mark Hamill. Okay, he's not going to do anything.
Just saying though, he's got a lot to live up to with this legacy with the Joker.
Oh, so you think that Michael Cera's not going to do anything? We'll get Will Arnett. He's not doing anything to top himself as the best.
I know,
Batman.
but I'm just saying he's got a legacy. So I mean, I'm not saying that he has to be better than them. I'm just saying he's got something to live up to. He's got to live up to the Joker standard. That doesn't mean he has to be, the same Jokers as all the other ones, but he can be different for a good thing. I mean, I think, though, if I'm guessing this is going to be a Lego property, this Joker is probably going to be the most comedic Joker of all of them.
No shit.
Not in morbid, but in actual humor.
Correct. Next news is that Black Panther photos were revealed from the set of Captain America Civil War. Did you look at these photos?
Not yet. I see these.
Oh, great. Now I have to show you.
I didn't know that they actually released photos.
It wasn't like real photos. They were leaked photos.
I see this.
Now I had to look it up. Do you not? This is what happens when Matt doesn't really do anything. Look up movie news like me. Nah. That's a stunt photo.
That looks good.
Stunt.
Good.
That's not him. There we go.
Ah.
There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. And that's not Chadwick Boseman, but whatever. That's a stunt man. Whatever. We saw what Black Panther looks like.
It looks good, the costume.
Whatever. It looks cool.
At least it ain't the George Clooney bat nipple suits, though. That's okay with me.
Ow! My hand! Whatever. You good?
Yes.
You burpy! Next news, where is it? Zac Efron to star in Baywatch movie opposite Dwayne Johnson. Stop it. This is actually something good.
Really? So is he playing the Hoff's character, Dwayne Johnson?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really looked into this that much.
Well, Or the Hawk
The
Night?
show was a drama, and this movie will be a comedy. Believe it. I haven't really looked into this
But
that
I'm
much.
confused.
That-
Is there any relation to the show with it, or is it just called Baywatch?
I don't know. I haven't really looked into it. I believe it is, but I'm not entirely sure about it. So it doesn't really matter to me. But if this is great. I think. Listen, Zac Efron is yeah. See, it's gonna be a raunchy comedy.
I see. Probably
And
no
it says
relation.
it's going to be rated R and it's going to be badass. We don't know who's directing this, okay? We don't know who's going to be,
It's gonna be raunchy. It's probably not gonna follow Baywatch itself, so it's different. Okay.
Oh, it says Seth Gordon, who directed Horrible Bosses, will direct the movie. So I didn't know that. That's good enough for me because Horrible Bosses was a great, great film, but he directed Identity Thief, which was meh.
God, that movie. I've seen Identity Thief. I
But
know.
not Horrible Bosses.
Ow!
I cracked his head. He's dead. He's dead. Not yet.
Oh God, not again!
Get up. God, you mother, you wimp.
You better not have blonde hair. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, shut up.
The typical cliche.
So?
Just
What?
saying.
What's the problem with some? If he has
Well,
blonde hair?
I'm just kidding. Jeez, Brian. I know
God.
he's not gonna have blonde
God,
hair.
what's the problem if he has blonde hair?
I don't know. I just
What's
when
the
I think of is like, oh God,
what?
silly thought.
What?
I'm just thinking of Zac Efron with blonde hair right now, and it's stuck in my head.
Oh, what's the problem? Oh, then you shouldn't have said it, you ass. This is all on you. It's all on you. I think this is really good news. I think Zac Efron has a lot of talent. I know a lot of people give him shit, but he's a really good actor. Unfortunately, the guy doesn't really pick a lot of good material. But with this and the Dirty Grandpa movie he's doing with De Niro, and with Neighbors 2, I think the guy's really talented. It's just, unfortunately, the guy hasn't really done many good stuff. The best thing, in my opinion, that he was in was Me and Orson Welles, which was directed by Richard Linklater. Now, listen, you're probably like, why would Richard Linklater cast Zac Efron? Obviously, he wouldn't cast Zac Efron if he wasn't good. So, he cast Zac Efron for a good reason. Damn microphone. Shut up. Buy your own microphone. You have a lot of money, you ass. But yeah, this is cool. I like this news. And I'm curious to see his back and forth with The Rock, which will be pretty awesome. Hopefully. Hopefully.
Okay. When I said about the whole Zac Efron, I'm just kidding, right? That actually would be pretty fucking funny. But I mean, what would be interesting if they do this? I mean, I guess this is called Baywatch. Is going to be on a beach. So if they are like lifeguards and they make fun of lifeguard cliches, that'd be kind of funny. No lie. This could actually be really funny if they do it right.
Yeah. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Okay, next is Dave Franco's come back to Neighbors 2. I don't care about this. Listen, I really liked Neighbors a lot. Like I said, Zac Efron was really strong. He was my favorite thing about Neighbors. I like that Nicholas Stoller is coming back to direct this. I like that the same writers come back to write this. I like that Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne come back, and I like the addition of Chloe Grace Moretz. But I know a lot of people liked Dave Franco in this movie. I just thought he was okay. I don't think he's that funny. A lot of girls our age think that he's the hottest living thing on the planet. Ow! So, I mean, he's fine. He's a fine actor. It's just the only thing I really ever liked him in was the Jump Street films. And he was okay on Scrubs, but that whole last season of Scrubs was not good at all, in my opinion. But, I mean, yeah, I liked his chemistry with Efron, but I just don't really care. I kind of figured he was going to come back. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on that.
So this is what that must have happened after 21 Jump Street at the other end. I shouldn't even get into this shit. I'm trying to be just fuck this, all right? I don't care.
Stop cursing. Stop acting like you own the podcast.
I don't care, honestly, what the hell they do with him. I never cared for his character. Don't care about him. He doesn't.
Oh, stop talking like me.
No, I'm being honest. I never freaking just was like, him.
He's talking like me.
I'm like, with him.
Okay, that sounds wrong, but okay. Stop it. That's my thing.
Yeah, he just never really caught my eye. That's what I gotta say. Don't pull that.
What is this?
That's one of those things I'll shoot confetti out.
Why do you have this?
Because Shane gave it to me a while ago.
Well, then we'll pop it out later.
Yes.
Okay, and then the last news that in the world of movies we'll talk about is that Ice Age 5 will be entitled Ice Age Collision Course, and it will be released on July 22nd, 2016. They already announced the release date a long time ago. They just didn't announce the actual title. It will be opening against the King Arthur film directed by Guy Ritchie, who we'll be bringing up later on this episode. And the film will be starring Charlie Hunnam. I am King Arthur. Where are you, sons of anarchy? I am a son of anarchy. Abel, it's me, your father. I am King Arthur. I don't know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that, people. Okay, Ice Age is a franchise that's really gone. First one was fine, second one was okay, third one was okay, fourth one was just
After the third.
I mean, So, I mean, the franchise has made a shit ton of money, and if they originally this was supposed to come out the week before, but now since they moved the Ghostbusters movie there, they had to do something, because I mean, if you were going to go up against the Ghostbusters movie, then that's not good at all. But I think it's good that they moved the release back, and there aren't really many kid movies out there, so you gotta say that this is a good thing for kids. But for me, I mean, I feel like the franchise should have already ended. The last one was called Continental Drift. That's how it should have ended, with them, but all separated. But I mean, if the franchise makes a lot of money, I love the actors in this franchise. It's just, I feel like it just, they don't make it every year. They make a Ice Age movie maybe like every 3 to 4 years. It's not like they do it every single year. So, I guess it's fine. It's just, I don't really care. I could care less personally, but I'll probably see this. If this is going to be the last one, Shrek ended with 4 films when really it should have ended with 5, because the Shrek Forever After is a really disappointing final chapter. It's one of the most disappointing films I think I've ever seen. But who knows what's going to happen with this film.
Ray, John, why the hell are you still doing these movies?
Ray
Romano and John Leguizamo.
And Dennis Leary.
And
Queen Latifah.
Why are all you doing these movies?
I'll finish up. And Sean William Scott. And Josh Peck. And that's it, I think. Go ahead, finish
All I'm trying to say is, why are you still doing these movies, alright?
Because they are good people and they like to make kids happy. Sid the Sloth is the best thing about this franchise. When he burps or farts in the 4th one, he's like, excuse me. I don't think that was you.
In the words from Diane Lane, you don't owe this world anything.
Diane Lane doesn't say all.
Mm-hmm. Yes. You've done a lot, all right? Just please, just be the final one. After the third one, I didn't care about it anymore.
Well, you don't really care about animated films.
No, but I used to care for the first 2, and then after the third, I'm like, hopefully this is it, because I'm kind of done with this. Seriously, I was done. I grew up with Ice Age, and I'm done. I was done after the third.
I think all of us were done after the third.
Yeah.
Trailers, ladies and gentlemen, the first trailer of The Hateful Eight, the new Quentin Tarantino film, and that is all you need to know about this particular film. The trailer, and I'm not really going to talk about it much, the trailer was fucking great, as expected from a Quentin Tarantino movie, and this is his 8th film, which is pretty interesting, because the guy, his first film, Reservoir Dogs, came out in 1992, so he's only made 8 films in the course of 23 years, so that's pretty impressive. You could tell right off the bat it's a Tarantino film. Even if they didn't say his name in the trailer, you could tell that it is a Quentin Tarantino movie. You see the set and you're like, oh, okay, this is a typical movie. You see Samuel L. Jackson, you're like, okay, this must be a Tarantino movie. Then you hear the dialogue, you're like, yep, this is a Tarantino film. It looks great. One of my favorite moments, or probably my favorite moment in the trailer, is when Kurt Russell and Jennifer Jason Leigh come into the bar, or tavern, or whatever they call it back then, and then she's like this, she's gonna hate herself, and she's like, oh, like it's so funny. So funny. I'm sure this movie's going to have a lot of great humor. And the film comes out on December 25th in limited release. It's going to be released in 70mm. If it comes anywhere here, I'm desperately going to try my best to go see it. But then it comes out in wide release on January 6th. And that's really you don't see you don't. What else is there to say? It just looks great because that's what Quentin Tarantino's films are. I'm sure this film's going to get some Oscar nominations or Oscar buzz, like every other Tarantino film. But I'm sure it's going to be a great film, and yeah, I'm very excited for this movie.
You got Julius versus the maniacal stunt driver. Yeah, this looks really good.
They're not versing each other.
Well, I'm just trying to say that Sam Jackson and Kurt Russell have worked together with Tarantino before, and honestly, if I remember, when he came up with the concept of this movie, wasn't it based on an exploitation film? If I remember,
I don't remember. No, he never does. He always writes his original stuff. What happened was a few years ago, the script was leaked online. I didn't read it because I couldn't. Well, I mean, if it wasn't going to happen, I probably would have read the script nonetheless. Then he did a live reading of the script, and then he decided, okay, I'm going to make it into a film. And that's what happened since. He was going to, after the script got leaked, he was going to turn it into a novel, which would have been awesome. But then he decided, hey, you know what, I'm going to make a movie, and that's a better choice. And I'm glad this movie's coming out because it really does look great. If I do end up seeing it in 2015, I'm sure it's going to be in my top 10 of this year.
Well, yeah, because the reason I brought up the exploitation film because it just is very similar to it. Like, I mean, I guess Tarantino took some ideas from it because you know how Tarantino likes to make exploitation like films.
Yes.
And I mean, this is a video I watched, so I'll tell you later. But yeah, I mean, it looks really good.
Next is Trumbo. This film stars Bryan Cranston as a famous screenwriter who I didn't really look into this that much. He actually like ripped off a few names supposedly, which is very interesting. So now the only thing that I'm really excited about, mainly the thing I'm excited for the movie most, is that Bryan Cranston might, and I'm not saying he will, I said he might, he could easily get an Oscar nomination, and that would be great because every time he's in a movie, he generally doesn't play lead characters. He's always in like supporting roles. Like I thought he was fantastic in Argo. I thought he was great in Argo, and he was great in Drive. He was great in
Godzilla.
Godzilla, yeah, the best thing about Godzilla was him.
Yeah.
Shut up. But I mean, Breaking Bad's my favorite TV show of all time. The guy won 4 Emmys for the show, and he also won 2 of them for producing the show. So technically, he's won 6 Emmys. 6 Emmys. He won a Tony Award. He won a Golden Globe. He won a SAG Award. He's won a lot of awards for Breaking Bad.
And don't forget, he played Lyndon B. Johnson before, so.
That's what I mean. He played that character in All the Way. A play that I unfortunately never got a chance to see it. You don't even like Broadway.
No, but I just found it interesting because I had to deal with Lyndon B. Johnson.
Whatever. Yeah. So, I mean, this is really, really interesting. And, I mean, the cast in this movie is just great. You got Diane Lane, you got Ellie Fannin, you got Louis C.K., who is just awesome. You got Helen Mirren, John Goodman, and it looks fantastic. It's coming out on a limited release on November 6th. The film will be directed by Jay Roach, who did all the Austin Power films. He made Meet the Parents. He also did Meet the Fockers. He did Game Change, the great Sarah Palin movie with Julianne Moore, which she won nearly every award for. Emmy, Golden Globe, SAG, and he also did The Campaign. The same year Game Change. So it was funny how he got 2 political films coming out in the same year. So he got the dramatic one, and then he got the comedic one. So I'm very excited for this film. I think it looks great. I believe it's going to premiere at TIFF. I think it is. I'm not entirely sure. I think it is. And if it is, I hope the acquaintances I know from We With Film go see it and they enjoy it. I'm very excited for this movie, and I really am so excited because if Bryan Cranston does get an Oscar nomination, that will make me happy because I think the guys deserve an Oscar for a long period of time.
Now, it is interesting that this movie deals with McCarthyism during the 60s because...
Don't talk about politics in front of me.
I know, but it's the basic thing. That's why if anyone who here has seen the trailer, you know that he's blacklisted because during that time period, I'm just going to say that let's say either a lot of McCarthyism, it's a long lesson. Everyone probably knows about it, but it has to deal, with the writers and directors in Hollywood. And this guy named McCarthy, who was a senator, saw them as communists, basically. And either you had to admit that you were communists, or if you didn't, you were blacklisted. So it was interesting that they finally made a movie that details actually one man's experience with this, who is Bryan Cranston's character. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what they do with it, and like what he's going through.
You're goddamn right. Okay, next trailer is for Gem and the Holograms. First trailer came out months ago, and it sucked. A lot of people were like, this film is awful. So, then this trailer came out. Now, here is the interesting thing. The trailer was released online this week, but I saw this particular trailer before Minions, opening day on July 10th, 2015. So this trailer should have been released online about a month ago. So I'm shocked it was released now, because when I saw my newsfeed, I'm like, and I watched it, I'm like, wait a minute, and I'm like, this is the same trailer I saw when I saw Minions. So why is it that it got released now? And why are you putting Story of My Life in this? Like, why are you putting that song? That whole group is already, like, broken up, okay? So it's not called, like, One Direction. It really shouldn't be called them, because one member left. One of them is now, I think, leaving. Listen, I read a lot of stuff online, so I'm aware of what goes on in the world of entertainment. But, I still don't have any interest in this movie. I will say that this trailer was way better than the first trailer. John Manchu is directing this, and I don't like that they're just promoting him for directing Never Say Never. I mean, he directed G.I. Joe Retaliation, and he's directing the upcoming Now You See Me sequel. So, I mean, like, I don't know how I feel about this. It just looks like a more kid version of Pitch Perfect. And Pitch Perfect, both Pitch Perfect films are really good films. So I don't know why they're doing this, and it's based on a very popular cartoon that I never watched. So, I mean, I don't, if we had to, like, give thumbs ups or mid-thumbs or thumbs down for trailers, I would give thumbs up for Hateful Eight, thumbs up for Trumbull, and thumbs down for Gem and the Holograms.
John Chu, please go back to action. Like, your action's great, but don't care about this. Got nothing else to say.
Thumbs down. You gotta say your thumbs down.
Honestly, just what should I even? Am I even gonna give a fucking rating? I don't give a shit about it. I mean, I was never even interested in this. I mean, I know it was a popular show, but I don't know.
Next, Ride Along 2. Big thumbs down for me. I was really not a fan of the first film. I didn't see it in the theater, and I'm glad I didn't, because then I would have wasted my money. I love Ice Cube. I love Kevin Hart. And I'll watch anything that those two do. The only reason why the sequel is happening is because the first film came out in January, and it was a big success for a January film. Like, January films don't usually do well at the box office. And don't say American Sniper, because that was a film that came out in late December of 2014, then it expanded and wide release in January 2015. And the only reason why that movie made a lot of money was because that was really the only movie out in January that people, like, gave a shit about. But, I mean, I never, like, laughed hardcore in this trailer. I mean, there was maybe one moment where I, like, mildly chuckled, like, But it just looks... It doesn't look very good, in my opinion. So I would give this trailer a thumbs down. Olivia Munn is a goddess, and she looks gorgeous. But I just don't. But I don't care about this movie. I'll probably see it. I commented on the YouTube video saying unnecessary sequel, and I said I will only see it if I'm able to see it for free, and that's it. Thumbs down for me for the Ride Along 2 trailer.
Now, being a person here who's seen it,
I said I saw it.
I know. Oh, you did?
Yes, I saw it.
I didn't know you. I wasn't paying attention.
Well, I didn't see it in the theater.
Okay. Well, the first one, it wasn't good, but it wasn't god awful. I mean,
it was close to god awful.
I've seen worse movies than that. I mean, it had some good moments in it.
Not really many.
But I mean, sequel? I mean, Sure, the plot sounds more interesting,
No, but it's not necessary.
but it's not necessary. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's not
Then why are you saying
necessary.
the plot sounds interesting?
It sounds more interesting than the last one, but it's still not necessary. In this movie.
The last one had a basic premise, and this one has the same thing too. So it doesn't really matter to me. I just don't know why they have to make a sequel.
It's because money. It's because the color of your shirt. It's the green. They want the green. Anyway, let's get on with this.
Like all the women want Kermit the Frog to split up from Miss Piggy. I wish we talked about that. Yeah. Oh god, that was like the best news story I've ever heard in my life. That's like the most funniest story I've ever heard, but it's also really sad. It was a sad day for Hollywood, folks, when Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy split up after 40 years together. Oh, God bless America. And then the last story we'll talk about is Burns. Bradley Cooper's in this, and it's directed by John Wells, who directed The Company Men, which starred Ben Affleck. Great film. And then he directed August Osage County, which was good. It had Oscar nominations for Julia Roberts and the woman herself, Miss Meryl Streep. But this movie just, we've seen this movie so many times that there's like no point. Oh yeah, the guy had everything, and then all of a sudden he loses everything, and then he has to go back and redeem himself. Bradley Cooper will probably get some Oscar thing for this movie. I feel like he's going for all these Oscar movies, which is fine and everything, but go back to doing something like The Hangover. Not Hangover 2 and 3, but just go back to doing something like The Hangover. Go do something fun, like Wet Hot American Summer, for example. I mean, obviously, I get it that you're a great actor. You're a brilliant actor, dude. But I don't really care for this movie. I mean, I like the cast. You had Sienna Miller, and you got Emma Thompson, you got Uma Thurman. It's a good cast, but it just doesn't seem like a movie that I'm going to be interested in seeing. So I'm going to give it actually a thumbs down. I really was not a fan of this trailer, personally. And this movie was originally called Adam Jones, and now it's called Burnt. I have no interest in this movie, really, at all. If you want to see a good movie about food, watch Chef, which Matt also hasn't seen.
More like Gordon Ramsay the movie.
No, not at all. Not even. No. Gordon Ramsay's more of a dick.
That actually would be more interesting if Gordon Ramsay wasn't it, but... yeah, I mean... I honestly just can't think of anything special. I mean, it follows the basic, oh, he came from nothing, he made something, then he lost it all in the end. So, it's not special. I mean, I could be doubting it, might be good and well done, but I just don't care.
You gotta give it a thumbs down or thumbs up.
Thumbs down.
Or just say you're slightly thumbs down, slightly thumbs
Slightly,
up.
like, I'm in the middle, yeah. Like, I mean, I know it looks well acted, but it just seems like it might not be, it might be too cliched, or, I don't know. In the middle.
So now let's get to the Blu-ray releases. The first one is Unfriended, which I didn't see, so I can't recommend it to you guys. And I was almost going to see it, but I didn't get a chance to.
You should.
Don't talk to me like I'm like.
No, I'm just telling you, not like in a way where, like, I
just don't sound like
disowning you.
Stuckman. That's all I'm saying. Don't sound like Stuckman.
I think honestly, you should check it out if you haven't seen it. It's not for everybody, but I actually enjoy Unfriended. Unfriended's very fun because it's a really cool concept that I'm surprised no one has ever done before, and it's just fun.
You could have invited me to see it. You really should have invited me. I probably would have done the same for you.
It was late though. It was late. I was with my cousin's other cousin, so it was kind of,
That's what you always go see movies late. Well, don't go see Compton at late time. Just be careful.
I'm trying not to.
If Kurt says go see it late, just say no. No, go.
No,
he
wants to see it early. He wants to see it early.
Oh, please.
Just because of that reason.
Give me the mic. Will you say buy, rent, or skip it?
I would say if you've seen it, you make the decision to buy or rent. But if you haven't seen it, rent it definitely.
Next is Hot Pursuit. Skip. Didn't see it, but just skip, please. Please. Why would Reese Witherspoon, I love you to death. Why would you do this? Why would this be the first movie you do after you got an Oscar nomination for Wild? I mean, if you wanted to do some comedy, maybe you could have done something from the Coen Brothers. Not this. I love you and Sophia. Sophia Vergara. You are a beautiful, beautiful woman, as are you, Reese Witherspoon. But Sophia Vergara is just as hot because she has a good body. Just saying that. That's the fact. And also that accent kind of makes me happy in certain areas. But yeah, I had no interest in this movie. I did have some interest in it at first because I like these two actresses. But when I heard it was awful, I just couldn't. I'm gonna wait for this when it comes out on cable to watch it. But there's no way I'm gonna spend any money on it whatsoever. So I would say skip Hot Pursuit. Yeah. Oh, Matt has yet to see a Reese Witherspoon film. Matt has yet to see a Reese Witherspoon movie. Reese Witherspoon. Now let's get to the new releases. Okay, this is gonna be a very interesting episode. I saw Straight Outta Compton. Matt saw Man from U.N.C.L.E. And that is what we're going to do. We're going to go back and forth. We're going to ask each other questions about the movie. So, okay, we're going to start with Straight Outta Compton. I saw this morning. My review was posted probably 50 minutes before we started recording this episode. You didn't watch it because you were playing your video games. But, alright, go ahead, ask me questions. Ask me if I liked it or not. And then ask me questions about, the performances, the direction, the writing, the historical aspect. Just ask me questions about this movie, and then you ask me at the end what would I give it.
Well, before I start asking you questions, let me just tell you that I was out at the gym today. So
what does that have to do with anything?
Just trying to say I wasn't on my ass playing video games. But other than that,
no, I said when I got here you were playing. I meant to say when I got here you were playing video games.
But first of all, was the acting really good?
You should ask me if I liked the film or not.
Well, first, yeah, I know you. Well, I can probably infer you probably liked it. But
well, you should ask me at least. You should ask me about it.
Okay. Well, first, did you like it?
Yes, I really liked it. I thought it was a really strong biopic. I think it's one of the better music biopics I've seen. If I had to rank it up, I would probably rank it alongside Ray and Walk the Line and The Doors. But it's not one of the best biopics I've seen. But I would definitely say it's one of the. It's definitely a great biopic. Stop talking like Stuckman. Stop! Why do you have to talk like him? I don't want to bring him up on here. I don't want to feel like I'm ripping off other people.
I was trying to say it was one of the more entertaining ones that we've seen.
It's not 100% entertaining because it's not supposed to be someone that's funny. Yeah, there's a lot of humor in it, and the humor works extremely well. But the last 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes are very dramatic, and it's very heartbreaking. And yeah, but yeah, I thought this was a great movie. And now you can ask me questions about. What was the question you asked me first?
Yeah, how was all of the performances from Easy?
The performances were very, very strong, very solid performances. My favorite would definitely have to be Corey Hawkins as Dr. Dre. He was definitely my favorite one. He had a lot of great scenes in this movie. I remember when I was watching the trailers, and I looked, and I was watching. I'm yeah, I could definitely see this performance being my favorite. But then when I see Ice Cube's son playing Ice Cube, I'm or this could be my favorite. Or then when I see Jason Mitchell playing Eazy-E, I'm this could be it. So I mean, all three of these performances were great. O'Shea Jackson Jr. did a great job portraying his father, and I did some research after seeing this movie. He spent 2 years prepping for this role. 2 years. I mean, of course, he had to talk to his father, about, Dad, how did you act at this time? And it worked very well. He looked a lot like him. There was a moment where he cut off his hair, and then he had the typical trimmed beard, and it was fucking great. He looked. I felt like I was. And this is the best thing you could say whenever you watch any movie. When you don't see the actor, you see the characters that they're playing. When I saw these three actors on stage performing, I felt like I was watching their characters. When I saw O'Shea Jackson Jr., I felt like I was watching Ice Cube. When I saw Corey Hawkins, I felt like I was seeing Dr. Dre. And when I saw Jason Mitchell, I felt like I was seeing Eazy-E. So that's the great thing about these performances. All the performances were outstanding, as was, of course, Paul Giamatti. And there's a lot of stuff behind this character. If you know the story, you'll get it. But for those who don't know, it's very interesting once you know the backstory of his character. So, that was something that just all the performances were great, though. That's something. But like I said, my favorite was Corey Hawkins as Dr. Dre.
That's interesting though, because when you talk about the whole story with Paul Giamatti, I could see like in the trailers he's defending them. He's one of the few people that actually are on their side. That's
But it's not just that. I don't want to spoil anything, but like once you watch the movie, you'll be like, oh, okay, with this character, you'll be like, oh, all right, I don't know about you, dude. I don't know about you. Go ahead, ask me more questions.
Did the length justify it, like the 2.5 hours?
That was my only flaw with the movie. The movie was very long, but it was still engaging from beginning to end. I just felt that the movie could have been cut down just a little bit. But I was talking to Big Gabe from We With Film and Stuff Rio Entertainment. He said, and I talked to him after the movie because he adores this movie. He told me that this would have worked as a miniseries. Oh, it absolutely would have worked really well as a miniseries, but as a movie, it was very strong. It's just that I think because it clocks in at almost 2.5 hours, I think it could have been cut down maybe like 10 to 15 minutes. It didn't have to be almost 2.5 hours long, but that doesn't, like, the movie didn't drag. You kind of felt the pace in a way, but the movie was still engaging from beginning to end. The movie was still great from beginning to end. Like, every scene was pretty much consistent. So yeah, like, any more questions? Like, what?
I was gonna say, like, the last thing though I was probably gonna say is, how was F. Gary Gray's direction and the writing?
The direction was very strong. He had a unique vibe to the movie. It felt like you were watching a movie that did take place in the 80s and 90s, so that's good. I would say this is the best film he's directed. I love Friday and I love Italian Job. I have not seen the Negotiator with Samuel L. Jackson, but I would definitely say that this is the best film he's done.
Very stylish, I'm guessing.
Not like over stylized, but it works for what it is and when it takes place. But just like when you watch the movie and when you watch the scenes when they perform, you feel like you're there in the audience with them when they're performing, and that's just great. That's what I love whenever I go see like a musical film or like a biopic mainly about music. When I saw Ray for the first time on television, I felt like I was there watching Jamie Foxx perform as Ray, and also just he like disappeared into that role. When I saw Walk the Line, it was the same thing with Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon, mainly Joaquin Phoenix. Like, you could see, oh yeah, that looks like Joaquin Phoenix. But you hear his voice, and he sounds like Johnny Cash. And Reese Witherspoon, the same thing as June Carter. With this, they all look like they're people, and they all sound like them, and they all have that vibe. They have their attitude and stuff. So, like, it works very well, and I would say go see this movie. I recommend it very much. If you don't like movies that are kind of slow-paced, I would say you could see it, but at the same time, I don't know. If you love NWA, you absolutely have to go see this, and it really did influence the hip-hop genre, and they really should be inducted, in my opinion, to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yes, they're not technically rock and roll, but to me, I feel like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should honor people that aren't just rock and roll. Michael Jackson, to me, wasn't really rock. He was kind of like soft rock. He wasn't like hardcore rock or metal rock. He was pop rock or soft rock. So, but yeah, I love this movie. It's one of my favorite films of the year. I would actually love it to get like a Golden Globe nomination for Best Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Yeah, I just thought this was a great movie. I would say it's the best music film we had this year. I really liked Love and Mercy, which also starred Paul Giamatti, but that film to me doesn't deserve the like high praise it has. It's still a really good movie, but it wasn't great. Jersey Boys was disappointing, and I just don't like that. I'm looking at it right now on that shelf. I just can't. But I do recommend Straight Outta Compton, and I gave the film an A. See it. If you're someone that's like a little worried about this, I would say go see it at matinee. Yes. Now, Matt saw Man from U.N.C.L.E. last night. Okay, so I had a little discussion with him about the movie last night. So overall, just give your thoughts on this movie. Like, give your...
You can ask me questions too.
Alright. Did you like the movie?
Well, I mean, as you know, I'm a spy fan. I like some spy films. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I liked it. It was good.
Okay. Okay. Now, go in depth about the acting versus Henry Cavill. Like, yeah.
Solo, yeah. Well, okay. So Henry Cavill was good. He had like a charismatic like charm he was pulling off. not like a Bond type, but somewhat different. Like it's like an Ethan Hunt mixed with Bond, and like he was. I like this character. He was interesting.
Okay.
His backstory. I mean, I'm not gonna go too in depth, but he was like, he used to be like an art crook. He used to be like cracking vaults and stuff like that, stealing, and then.
Well, don't really go in depth about it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie yet.
But he had like that suave, and he was like one-liner type person. Yeah.
All right. Army Hammer, because the only you've seen with him other than this is the Lone Ranger. You have yet to see the Social Network. You've had that on your shelf for like 2 months now. I mean, where's Sideways, by the way? Where's
Sideways
my?
right.
Where was my copy? Oh, there it
Yeah,
is.
it's right
Oh,
there,
because I thought you lost it. If you lost my copy of Sideways, then you would owe me $10.
I don't lose movies. First of all.
Yes, but I'm just saying, like, you organize your movies. Like, one day I come and then that's over there, and then this is over there. It's like all over the place with your Blu-ray collections.
Yeah, but Army Hammer. I think both him and Solo are equally good. They weren't great. They weren't like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Type performances. I mean, I think Army Hammer. I liked him better in this than Lone Ranger, even though he tried. Lone Ranger, but he
just didn't fit Lone Ranger. That wasn't really the role you would give to him. You would have given it to someone who's better.
I would say Chris Pratt would have been a good Lone Ranger, but he wasn't discovered at that point. So.
No, he was discovered. He was on Parks and Recreation.
But he wasn't like as we know him as he is now.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have been able to do that role anyway, because he would have been busy with Parks and Recreation. And then when this movie came out, he a few weeks after Lone Ranger came out, he started filming Guardians of the Galaxy. So he probably wouldn't really have time to do Lone Ranger.
Only Buckheimer would have held off. Yes. But they were both really good. I mean, he was a very stuck-up Russian, tough guy.
Okay, and how was Alicia Vikander?
She was great. She was great.
All right, so just explain to the people you have yet to see Ex Machina.
Yes, and I actually want to see Ex Machina more now because of her. She was really good in the film.
Yes. That she's one of the best young actors, and she's also going to be in Burned.
What's interesting, though, what's very interesting that I find, I mean, I know a lot of people brought it up, but I really have to, is that Armie Hammer's American, and he's playing a Russian. Henry Cavill is a Brit who's playing American, and then you have Vikander, which I'm not going to talk about, because, everyone can probably guess she's a spy. Yeah, right? But, not going to tell you what agency, but she is, let's just say, no, never mind, should I just say it, should I?
No, no spoilers.
I'm not going to spoil it.
No spoilers,
Let's just say it's kind of ironic that they're not playing their countries.
So? If they're not playing their countries, that means that's
not
good.
in a bad way, just in a funny way.
And then,
the action.
All right, go ahead, the action.
It was, again, it's Guy Ritchie. It's going to be highly stylized. I mean, it felt like...
Well, if you only seen one Guy Ritchie film, that was the first
Sherlock Holmes.
Holmes.
But it felt like a modern-day 60s movie. Like, it felt very suave and very, like, it was very highly Hollywoodized, They had, like, what was that, like, cross-cut editing in some scenes where they put, like, 2 parts on the screen.
Well, that's what he does in majority of
really
his
good.
films.
It really looked good.
And that's how 60s films work. I mean, it is based on a TV show from the 60s, so I'm sure it was a faithful adaptation, so I can't...
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, I haven't seen the show, but based on, let's just say, my cousin's mother saw the show, and she saw the movie with her, and she said it was really faithful to the show. Like, that they kept the names.
And also, your cousin's mother technically is the aunt. Your aunt.
Yes, my aunt, but I'm just trying to be very,
Okay.
About it, but I would say, though, yes, it did. I think it was easily one of the most colorful movies I've seen in the summer. It was fairly colorful.
Now, problems with the movie.
Issues. It's not really that memorable. I mean, I think DeBecky does a good job as the villain. She's a good villain. It's just the movie itself is not memorable. It's not better. It's not good like Sherlock Holmes. I think it's good, but it's not on par with Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
Which I've seen Sherlock Holmes, and
that's why I did say that's the only Guy Ritchie film other than this that you saw.
Yeah. So I mean, I kind of understand his style.
Sort of, not 100%, but sort of. Mm-hmm. Now, what would you give the movie?
I mean, on my, as you know, Brian, now I start giving 2 ratings. Hey.
Yep.
Like a score rating for number of stars, I would say 4 out of 5, which is my good giving.
Okay. Little high, but okay.
Well, no, because my 3.5's above average. I see that.
Yeah, but to me, no, but 3 is fresh.
3, I think, is average. 3.5. 3.5 is above average.
No,
and
3.5 is
2.5
good.
Yeah.
4 is
That's
very
average.
good. No, listen. Here's how it works for me. 3 is average. 3 is average or just okay. 3.5 is good. 4 is very good. 4.5 is great, and 5 is perfect. No flaws at all.
Yeah, see, 4.5 to me is
That's
great.
the thing. You shouldn't really have given Rogue Nation, like, you wrote Rogue Nation in A, but then you gave it 5 stars. To me, I don't think that's how it would work. To me, a 5-star movie would have to be that it is perfect 100%, where it has 0 flaws.
It was still really good.
Yes, but I'm not. Did I say it wasn't?
I mean,
Did I say it wasn't?
No. I'm just trying to say I really liked it.
And then we got 2 indie films coming out, none of which Matt has ever heard of. Mistress America.
Before we get to this, let's finish with our Uncle.
You finished? I said.
I didn't say my letter rating though.
You did. Oh.
I said I do 2 ratings. But my letter rating, I'd probably give it a B. Solid movie.
I wouldn't say it's 4 stars, but okay, whatever you say. Then we got 2 of these coming out, none of which Matt has heard of. One of them is Mistress America, which is the new Noah Baumbach film. And Noah Baumbach's a fantastic filmmaker, though I haven't seen his most recent film, While We're Young. I really like the trailers for this. Greta Gerwig's in it, and that's his usual partner in crime when it comes to his films. So I'm curious about this movie. It's probably going to take a little while for it to come here to Jersey. So I'm very curious about it. Matt doesn't know what this movie is because Matt doesn't see indie films very often. And then we have 10,000 States, which stars Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt is real!
Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke. Excuse me.
Hawkmeister.
Shut up.
Or, as you would say...
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Shut up.
Come on.
No, I'm not... No, you can't do it. You can't handle the truth. Can't handle it. But I believe Asa Butterfield's in it, so fuck that kid. Thank God he's not a new Spider-Man. Asa. It's Asa. He promotes himself as Asa. You ass.
More like Asa.
Quiet buffoon. You haven't seen any movies with him? Other than Boy in the Striped Pajamas. You gargantuan buffoon. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to our box office predictions. This is actually kind of simple for me, so I'm going to get this started. Number 5, I would have to go with... I don't know if this film's going to be in the top 5. But, if it is, I don't think it's going to be higher than number 4. I would say number 5 would go to Fantastic Four. Number 4, I would pick, I would pick The Gift. Number 3, I would go with Rogue Nation. Number 2, I would go with Man from U.N.C.L.E. And number 1, I would go with Straight Outta Compton.
I think, honestly, Ant-Man would be number 5.
No, Ant-Man's done, dude. It's done. It's done. Ant-Man really didn't make a lot of money last week.
Copy your list, that's why.
Ant-Man didn't make a lot of money. It only made $7 million last week.
List, that's why. And I would think Finch should stick 5. It might still be number 4. I think Gift actually might get better press, and it might get to number 3.
Then what's number 5?
That's what I said. Number 5 is Ant-Man.
I don't think it's gonna. All right, whatever.
And then number 2.
Then where's Rogue Nation?
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
See, Ant-Man. There's no way Ant-Man's gonna be in the top 5.
Fine, shit stick. And well, yeah, fine. Finish shit stick. Then. Gift, yeah. I can see why, because Rogue Nation's still going to make a lot of money. I think Man from U.N.C.L.E. will be number 3. Then I think Rogue Nation, number 2, and number 1 would be Compton.
Okay. That's it, guys, for this episode of Nerdy Scores, a film podcast. Tune in next week while we talk. Honestly, we don't even know if we're going to review any of the movies that come out. You still got to watch Adventureland before you see American Ultra.
Yeah.
Sinister 2.
As well as I got to watch Chronicle because for that.
Sinister 2. I have zero interest in that, so you're not going to expect a review from that from me unless if I find a way to see it for free.
The only one.
And then what else comes out? Oh, Hitman.
If Hitman's got positive reviews, then I might see it. But other than that,
don't go on Thursday night because then you're gonna pay full price.
I'm not going on Thursday night.
You always go on Thursday night.
But to be honest, I have no care for
well, actually, you don't really like to go on Thursday night. It's your cousin that drags you out on Thursday nights. He's like, Matt, I'm only going to go on Thursday.
He pays for me, so I don't give a shit.
I thought you would always pay for yourself.
Sometimes I do, but it's most of it he's paying for me.
So you're greedy. You're being greedy. You ass.
Hey, he doesn't pay for anyone else, though. He's paid just for me.
Wow, he drives you around. Isn't that enough as it is?
Yeah. I'm kind of a prick. Yeah.
Yes, and you need to know how to drive. Yeah, the permit. So that is it for this episode of Nerdy Scores, a Film Podcast. Next week, and also a video that's probably going to come out next Sunday. The best and worst of summer 2015. We did this last year, and ironically, we did the video from his cousin's car where we said our best and worst of last summer.
And I went on and on about a rant of Transformers.
No, that was me. I picked Transformers. You picked Expendables 3.
Oh yeah, I went on a rant about both of them.
I went on the rant about Transformers. You went on the rant about Expendables. And then I overpraised X-Men, and he overpraised Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
So he probably you won't. I don't think you'll know what my best of the summer is. There's no way you'll know, and don't say it on here. I already know yours, but I don't think you'll know my best.
To be honest, mine hasn't changed since the beginning. So.
Yep.
And honestly, there's nothing that tops it.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah.
Compton could be better, but I'm
no. And it's not better than your choice.
Yeah.
But
you can already guess.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week on the next episode of Nerdy Scores, a film podcast. Peace out, motherfuckers.
And cut.